limits. You might be thinking, well, that means I've got to reach some height that I can't reach. I don't believe that, but hang on a sec. You're picking some height. You're just setting another limit. So, no limits means you can go as high as you can, as you want, as you wish. Whatever effort you put in, when we talked about grit yesterday, all that can take it. Because how could you tell where to put the limit? If I said to you, okay, you're right, that's a bit silly, set zero limits. Okay, let's set a limit. Where would you set it? How do you even know what's going to happen, what you're going to be able to do, who you're going to meet, what you're going to learn? You wouldn't have any idea where to set the limit anyway. That's why setting a limit is always a bad idea.
Mr. James, I have to start this session with something that you're going to hate.
Really?
You're going to hate this.
Uh-oh.
All right, but I'm just going to ask you to answer the questions with no pushback. Just answer.
Okay, he's going to do something I don't like and I just have to answer the questions.
Okay.
I'd like to put a limit on this.
Because some of these students, I'm sure most of them know what you do musically, but they may not understand the mindset that is coming out of the incredible human. I have to tell you all, this is the most incredible human I've ever had the privilege of spending time with. And when he says zero limits, he really means zero limits. Like, yeah, you just choose it. If you want to do it, you do it. So can I ask you really quickly, tell me about your boat company.
Oh, okay. I'm a sailor. I always have been into boats, and I sailed all around the world. I deliver yachts for people across oceans, and I build boats. In COVID, I had nothing to do for a moment there because when I said I had nothing to do, I couldn't go touring, couldn't play, we were locked down. So I decided that was when I was going to do something I've always wanted to do, which is build boats. So I started building boats. I was just building a boat for myself to start with, and then someone wanted it, so I sold it. And I built another one and sold that. And next thing you know, I got a boat company. And so we're doing that. We're having a great time as well. I got a couple that need finishing right now. So I'll see you guys later.
Can you tell me about your race car driving experience?
I always liked driving, and then I went for an audition for Warner, the film company, Warner Brothers. They make films down in Australia. They have a big studio down there. So I went for an audition to be a stunt driver for movies, and I got it. You have to drive on two wheels, and you have to slide through things and slide the car into a parking spot and do all that stuff. And I learned how to do all that in places that I shouldn't. And but I got a job as a stunt driver, and then I got racing, and I ended up on a team in the World Rally Championship, driving for Toyota, and who were the top team at the time. And so I've done lots of different motor racing. I really love it.
Can you tell me about your airplane flying experience?
Yeah, I'm a pilot. I'm a commercial pilot. I have what they call a command instrument rating. I fly multi-engine aircraft and in all weather, and I've flown my band around for many, many years, and I've flown all over the world, and I've had a plane of some sort, different planes over the years, and done a lot of flying.
Can you tell me about your teaching experience at the highest of levels?
Yeah, because I got traveling around, you do master classes like I'm doing here this week, right? And after a while, I sort of felt like, wouldn't it be great though to see that person again next week? Like one of you asked me for an idea and some help. I tell you something. I think, no, I need to check back with you next week and see how that's going. And I thought, I want to spend longer with some students. And also, every time I visited an institution, particularly at the college level, I'd see things and I go, that's great, but I'd also see things and say, well, if I had a school, I'd do it like this. And of course, I kept saying that, if I had a school, I'd do it like this. So I thought, okay. So I started a school, a university, with a bachelor degree and an honours degree, and I started that in South Australia. I put it outside a big city in this place called Mount Gambier because I wanted it somewhere where students would have to leave home and come and live in this town to attend the university, so we create a real kind of vibe there.
Can you tell me about the jazz festival that you started many years ago?
Yeah, we started a jazz festival, and it was just a little thing, and we said it'd be great to have big bands come along, like stage bands, from high schools to play, because we had a competition for soloists. People could send in a tape, and it was a tape then, and play, and we'd have like 6 finalists come and play, young players, teenagers, and someone would win a scholarship. And we gave them $10,000, which they spent towards their music education. So wouldn't it be great to have bands? We could involve more people. So we decided to invite high school bands. And we got 8 bands came along, 8 big bands. We went, this is crazy. 8 big bands into one place at once. How are they all going to fit? How are we all going to play? Anyway, we said, we'll just work it out. And that grew. That got to the size where we had 162 big bands. And we started jazz choirs as well and other ensembles. And we ended up with 8,000 young musicians coming each year to play at this thing. We had 23 venues running at once, so everyone got to play, because when you got hundreds of bands, you have to have a lot of venues, otherwise it will take, a year for everyone to play. And we had adjudicators from it. We had people like Gordon Good would come, Willie come and adjudicate the bands, and great players from all over the world. We had fantastic guests come and play for everyone. And we said, how can we have everyone together? It's all very well having all these venues. So we had one made. This huge thing that they built where we could have 8,000 students at once in this one place. And we did it in the paddock, like outside the town. It was the only place we could find big enough. And built this place so we could get together every year and have everyone in the one room. You can imagine the vibe. When he says to you, dreamers, and you'll go, hoo-ah, imagine when 8,000 people do it. It's almost as loud as you guys were this morning. Yeah.
Can you tell me about your passion in spreading the good word of music in a jazz club setting?
You mean like just the fact that I've been touring since I was
The fact
16?
that you had your own jazz club.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I said, it's another thing I thought, I've got to have a club at some stage, because you go to clubs all the time and play, as well as concert halls and all sorts of stuff, and so we started a jazz club. And that was great fun, because we could invite all sorts of people from all over the world. And we started that near my school, of course, so that all the students could go there, and because I thought what they need is a really good club they can go to and hear great music. And I said, well then we better create one, so we did.
So when we talk about zero limits, do you understand what I'm talking about? Zero limits. This is by one human being doing these things. Hey Wyndham, when you get a second, YouTube James Morrison, Australian Olympics, the opening ceremonies. I want to show that in a second. Jace, hang on one second, buddy. Put your hand down. So here's what I want us to do. 30 seconds, okay? Actually, 1 minute on the clock. Look up, eyes, up here, everyone. Eyes. Let's spend some significant time and energy in our brain. And I want you to write down as many things as you can in a minute. Things that you want to do. It could be silly. It could be, I would love to have my own jazz club. It could be, I would love to be a comedian. It would be any of those things. Anything that you want to do. It could be silly, serious.
But don't limit it to what you think you might be able to do. That's really important. In fact, there better be some things on there that you think are impossible. That you'd like, but you don't think they're possible. Make sure there's something on there